This is Dr. Ron's Words of Wisdom, words on leadership, goal setting, productivity, and a whole lot more. Consider this a vitamin or a supplement for your mind, your heart, and your soul. Wherever you download podcasts, would you mind subscribing to Dr. Ron's Words of Wisdom? It would be greatly appreciated if you'd leave a rating and write a brief review, and we would greatly appreciate it. One thing that I know about leaders, to be a good leader, you have to also be a good follower. That's really sort of where we begin our apprenticeship in the area of leadership. But let me tell you one of those things about leadership. So that is, everyone models leadership. I know there are many of you that are listening saying, I'm not a leader yet. No one listens to me. But everyone models leadership. You model leadership in your home. Regardless of what your position is at your work, you model leadership. And if you think that that does not apply to you, then you have to remember that you model leadership in your own life. Getting out of bed in the morning, going on, those are ways of modeling leadership. What I'm trying to get you to think about is the fact, what are you modeling? The fact of the matter is you are modeling something. Is it a positive something or is it a not positive something? What if someone were to follow you around today and observe your life? What would they say you are modeling? Make sure you're modeling the right things. To be a leader, one of the essence is you have a vision of a preferred future, whether that's your company, where you work, your family, or yourself. Some of the things that I've changed in my own life in the last couple of years is because I got tired of the way things were. And I was given a glimpse of a vision of what my future could be if I just implemented and made some of these changes. Now, you can do that with the organizations where you serve. You can do that in your family. Is your family where you want them to be? Or do you have a preferred vision of what the future of your family should be like? Then let's get leading and going in that direction. If there are changes that you want to make in your own life, if you have a preferred vision of what your future needs to be like, it's not going to happen by wishful thinking. You're going to have to be proactive, take action, break it down into small steps, and follow those steps. So a leader at any level has a preferred vision of the future. Another thing about leadership that I certainly didn't understand until I got kind of knee-deep in all of this is there are leaders around us who have no formal titles, no formal training, and no one officially refers to them as a leader. But they are indeed leaders because they are influencers. Now, most of my adult life, I have worked at church or not-for-profits and have worked with volunteers. And if you want a challenge, just try leading a large group of volunteers. And many times I made a few mistakes in the early days of my leading because I saw leadership as something formal, something the bylaws lays out, something that you can put in an org chart and see, well, here's this committee and this person, and this is a person I have to get buy-in from. And you would get all of that all of those people informed and maybe get buy-in, or we all came to some manner of agreement, and the thing still failed. It's because there are leaders in your organization who are leaders not because of a title they hold or a position they possess, but because they are key influencers. It's in our families, it's where we work, it's in our churches, it's in our service organizations. So keep your eye out not just for those in formal leadership positions, but find out in any organization who the key influencers are. Influence is a powerful, powerful tool. And never forget, leader, we need to be working on our area of influence. Are we a person of trust? Are we a person that folks can count on? You have to lead by influence, not just by your authority or by a title that you hold. You'll get farther down the road when you really come to understand in every organization there are both formal leaders and informal leaders. There are people who will influence the decision regardless of what the governing board or the organization does. You need to work with them and on them as well. The other thing that I would say about leaders, and that is, at the heart of it, it is self-discipline and time management, which I have kind of morphed into one word. There really isn't much about time management. It is mostly self-management. You can't manage time. Time just happens. And it is the one area in which we are all equal. The smallest, the largest, the smartest, the less than smartest, all have the same amount of time. It's just that some people have learned some tricks and they're able to pack a lot more into the time that is allotted to them. I realized in recent years that I talked about being self-disciplined and motivated and getting things done, but my own life did not reflect that. And since I have decided to discipline myself and to do certain things, a whole avenue of leadership has opened up to me. So if you're going to be a leader, you need to be self-disciplined. You need to figure out who it is you're supposed to be and what it is you're supposed to be doing and do it. And treating time as the most precious commodity that it is. Now let's end with the one I started with that said leaders are good followers. Long before you began to lead in your family, your home, your business, where you work, you were a follower. And that's where we learn the lesson. As a matter of fact, Jesus talked about the one who wants to be master needs to be the servant. I was recently in the presence of a leader who I had asked if he would help me with something and do something, and he kind of gave lip service to it, but in essence indicated he was too busy and it wasn't for him and he had better things to do. And I've just observed in his life that he models, whether he realizes it or not, he models kind of a disrespect. When he speaks to the people in his organization and wants them to follow him and do the things that he wants them to do, he'll use the same language that I was using, and he gets really upset if they don't do what he asks them to do. And I'm getting ready to have a conversation with him because I think one of the reasons they're not is they see the way he treats others in his organization when he is asked to do something. And whether you are conscious of it or not, if you are disrespectful and you're not a good follower and you're not a team player, you model that for your team. Your team isn't so much going to be excited about what you say. They will be more excited about what you do, and they'll take more seriously what they see you modeling by your actions. Remember, I'm not saying this to make you paranoid, but remember, people are watching you. The people that we lead are watching us. Now, we think they're just listening to us. Well, they listen and they hear what we say, but they're watching us because what they really want to know is, do you yourself really believe all this that you spew out? Do you really believe in order to be a good leader, you need to be a good follower? Do you ever serve anyone, or do you just expect that people are there to serve you? You can't be a good leader. It's just impossible if you haven't learned to be a good follower. If you haven't learned to be a part of the team. If you're on an organization, you must learn that at any level of the organization, when someone wins, we all win. When someone loses, we all lose. And we have to give ourselves to it. So remember, I don't care how many plaques you have on your wall, how many certificates of appreciation you may possess. If your people don't think you're a good follower, they also don't think you're a very good leader. This is Dr. Ron's Words of Wisdom, words on leadership, goal setting, productivity, and a whole lot more. I hope today it has been for you a vitamin or a supplement for your mind, your heart, and your soul. Wherever you downloaded this podcast, would you mind going back and subscribing? And if you could leave a rating and write a brief review, it would be very helpful. It will help us move up the list so that folks who need to be listening to this will be able to find this podcast. Listen today, go out and be not just a good leader, but be a good follower, which will help you to become a good leader. Wherever you're doing today, do it with all of your might. And remember, you are doing better than you think you are. You are making a difference. Until next time, this is Dr. Ron say, have a great day.